no runes, and you can solo these raids. I mean, this is actually pretty decently fast, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually surprised on how well Lynn is actually doing. I've heard a lot of people talk about long queues to get into raids. I don't know what server you're on, but if you're having trouble with long queues, there's a couple things you can do. If you end up liking this video, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell ding-a-ding-a thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. For newer players, it's probably harder to get into raids when you're lower level because A, everybody's soloing most of these elite raids. You do get bonus rewards by joining a group, but if you click on find match, you'll enter a random group. This is a Friday, so most people already used all 3 entries. But I'm on my level 75 Kina to act like a new player to see how long it takes to get into these raids. However, this is why it's very important to be in a guild, and an active guild at that. Some people are saying it takes 5 minutes to get into an elite raid, but if you can't solo the elite raids, you need to be in a guild. One that is active. There are plenty of them out there after the merges. If your guildmates don't want to help you do elite raids 3 times really quick, then that says something a lot about the members of that guild. Find a better guild. The guilds that actually care are the ones that actually care about the game and want to help new players progress quickly. You can even go into general chat and ask people. There are tons of people that always volunteer their help. But I get it. To find a match for 3 people, it's very hard because this is old content. But I'm going to show you how to solo raids. As long as your monsters are built right, you can solo every single raid. Foggy Prison, quick join it. The easiest team to solo raid dungeons. You can bring in Fire Phoenix Perna for every single dungeon. You bring in Fire Sky Dancer for the defense, break, and the attack buff. And then you can bring in any 4-star healer support you want because all you need is Perna and Sky Dancer. You can bring in Light Hal. You can bring in Water Epicon Priest. Hell, you can even bring in Tion. You can even bring in a second damage dealer, as long as you play it on manual and dodge everything. Or you can bring in a frontline tank that'll take all the damage, either a knight or a warrior. I'm going to show you some easier team comps too if you don't have these monsters. All you want to do is spam Perna's second skill and you'll be fine. I'm going to put this on auto, and all I'm really going to do is just dodge out of any attacks that they do. Sometimes I don't even care about dodging. I'm bored. But really, if you have a good Fire Phoenix built, you can literally like 3-shot Tau or Vita. It doesn't even matter in elite raids. Just have a good damage dealer, whether that's Fire Phoenix or whatever the case is. Even if you don't have 5 stars, it doesn't matter. Have a good team comp of defense down, attack buff, a nuker. This is why they implemented solo raids. If you can't find a group, just do it by yourself. Your stats are increased tremendously to be able to do this solo raid. I could have brought way better team comps than I actually am using right now. Someone who's more dependent on a defense down, because that's what's hurting me right now. But all in all, I don't even need to dodge things. Like I'm okay. I'm not gonna get hurt. But yeah, just bring in 3 stars, 4 stars. It doesn't really matter. Just solo the raid. You don't need the meta monsters. For White Shadow Castle, 5-star options, Perna, Wusa, and Fire Sky Dancer Hua-Yi. With Wusa's immunity, you don't get the mana decrease from the skills. If you're just standing in it, the shield, you don't take any damage. And literally, you just let Perna do his thing. You can just literally stand in all of this and just nuke down Metis, and it's GG. It's really simple, guys. Non-elite options, Shu and Shannon, and then 1 damage dealer. Crow, Naomi, Lauren. Again, with the non-5-star options, you may need to not stand and stuff. It really just depends. And you may not do enough damage to where you can skip the arms, but maybe you can because of the stat boosts that you get. Again, 5 stars just make the game simpler, easy, faster. You can do everything with 4 stars and 3-star monsters. You just gotta build your monsters right. Reminder, this is with 6-star gear you get from all the quests. Some of it's not even leveled, Boiling Waterfall Naraka. For my main team auto, I just honestly like to use Perna Shu Shu Hua He. You need someone to get rid of that damage over time if you're standing in it in auto. But the immunity helps a bunch with the knockback, with the dots, to the heal block. But Perna can literally solo this without going to the add phase. Again, with the non-5-star team, I just like to use Crow, Shu Shu, and Shannon. If you're going to do 4 stars, you're obviously not ready for doing it quicker with 5 stars, so just manual it. Wait to use your nuker until the boss has a defense down from Shannon. I mean, Crow nukes for 441,000 damage with just 4 debuffs on. Substitute 5 stars for 4 stars or 3 stars, whatever you gotta do. But if you can't just nuke it down and you have to go to the add phase, then nuke them down. Kill off all the ads. Once the ads are dead, you just go under a shield. Naraka uses his skill. Kaboom, 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 you're safe. Then you just charge back in and just go to town. Shannon isn't like a super reliable defense down, but it works. Twisted Marsh, Perna, Shu Shu, Hua He again. Depending on how strong you built your Perna or your main damage dealer, it depends on what kind of phases you get here. Sometimes you can skip forbidden spells, sometimes you can't. Depends on your progress of your account. Stand in the circle, heal your team up the full. Stand back at this entrance here, she won't hit you no matter what. Then you just go back in, go to town. Easy GG. Non-5 stars, Naomi, Shu Shu, Shannon again. Or if you're using Kina, you don't need an attack buff. You just need a defense down. 3-star Dark Harpy still viable? Why, of course. Maybe you'd need to do a little bit of soul searching on your monsters. Play around with the soul links, switch them off, go back and forth. Naomi's still strong, even in solo raids. Use Dark Harpy, get that defense down, damage taken up, then switch back to Naomi and just blow her up. During the shrine phase, if you get to this part because of damage, depending on your account progress, just stand back, watch 2 doors. If you see the one, then you know you're good. If you don't see any of them, then it's behind you. She's going to teleport to the middle, just go ahead and stand in the middle and just blow her up. If you need heals, just switch to Shu Shu, but you're gonna be fine. Solo these elite raids. Tree of Heroes. For 5 stars, of course, Perna, Skydancer, Hua He, but I like to bring in Ariel here because of the cleanse. You don't need to switch out your damage dealer either, because Perna can literally do the damage to every phase. All you gotta do is just pay attention to whatever element that he is and just make sure to stand by the origin of the opposite element. When he's water, you stand on the fire origin so that when you drop the water circle, it breaks it. Oh look, he switches the fire. I'm gonna go stand somewhat close to the origin of wind, because when he targets you with his fire, death, destruction beam, just like this, you got a big old target on your head, and when it goes away, you dodge out, and now the origin's dead. And after fire's done, then it's going to be wind, and you can kill the origin in 1 round. If you just walk around this origin like so in a circle, you might take some damage if you don't walk in the right circle, but there it's dead. Just make sure to switch to Ariel and do his thing. For the 3 portals, you can pick really any of them. You got plenty of time. I like to just pick Wind Sylph because, hey, I'm bringing Perna, right? Why not? It's just a couple hits and he's dead. And then for Farrakle, you use your ultimates. You can try to not get hit by stuff. That would be the smartest thing to do. Run away from the orange orb, attack the blue orb. Watch the pattern here. You don't want to stand in that unnecessary damage. You got this, no problem. It didn't help that last raid, I had no runes on Perna. Oops. And I still did it. No runes. And you can solo these raids. Non-5-star options, Crow, Shu Shu, and hell, you can even bring in someone that gives me PTSD just for fun, just to show you can do anything. Water Vagabond Allen. I have him on a nuke build. As long as you know the mechanics of the fight, you're going to be just fine. And also, you can beat all PvE with 4 stars and 3 stars. And real quick, Seal. Just make sure to bring Perna, an attack buff, a crit damage buff, whether that's you, Soletta, buffing Perna, or you can bring in an unawakened wind jack-o'-lantern like I typically do, and Fire Skydancer, of course. My jack-o'-lantern has 0 gear, 0 artifact, but it's like he has gear on because of the buff that they give when you solo raids. Just make sure to dodge out of stuff. Just nuke him down when you can. Kill the guard soldier when it comes up, when he has invincibility. When he blows up, then you go back in, do your thing, and you got this no problem. 4-star options, hell. Bring in light Amazon, screw it. Bring an attack speed based Megan on Vampire, wow. Stop using the Qs as an excuse to not get these dungeons done. All I'm doing is spamming Megan's attack buff and attack speed buff. I'm literally just knocking down this giant easily. Attack buff 10 and attack speed 10. Lynn is a free 4-star monster that you get from the monster story. I mean, this is actually pretty decently fast, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually surprised on how well Lynn is actually doing. And that's a GG. Doesn't matter where you're at. You can get these dungeons done. I showed you team comps, all different types of rarities. Either solo these dungeons or get in an active guild. There's tons of them out there. Stop complaining about the queue. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to see more Megan and Lynn, let me know in the comments below. If you end up liking this video, sub, like, ding ding bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.